Hey guys, it's Pressley. Welcome back to Cool Conversations podcast. I am so excited for today's episode. We are joined with the one and only Audrey Grace.
Hello.
Guys, I love Audrey so much. She is so fun and just like one of the nicest people ever.
God,
so
I
I'm
love
so
you.
glad that
Hi.
you're here. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes. Hi, I'm Audrey. I'm an actress, and I'm also a Pressley enthusiast and fan. Actually, that's my official title.
Oh my
so.
God. I'm an Audrey fan, guys. This is so fun. Okay, I was trying to think before this how we met. Do you know? Because I don't.
I remember being at the Kids' Choice Awards a few years ago, but I remember that not being the first time that we met.
I feel like we would pass each other at like
Everything
and
every
just
single
never
thing on the
talk.
planet. I know. I'd
But
always
when
see
did we officially meet? I don't remember.
Because I wanted to. It wasn't Teen Vogue Summit.
No, because we knew each
We
other.
knew each other.
I'm like trying to think, and I was like, I could not remember.
Girl,
But
I don't know.
I feel like we like clicked. Like when we met,
like
we were like
soul
we were
ties. Like, we're connected.
Yeah, you know. But I'm just so glad that we do know each other because you're just so fun.
You're so
And
fun.
you're so amazing, and I'm so glad that you're here. And today we're going to be talking about something that honestly is not talked about enough, and that is friendship breakups. And we all know it. I feel like we've all gone through at least
Everybody.
one.
Come on.
I'm sure more than
Come
one.
on.
Like we all know. And I think that that's something that should definitely be talked about more. So I'm glad that we're covering it today.
Yes.
So, a question for you to start. As we all know, meeting new people and going through different friends is a part of life and a part of growing up. Have you ever had to deal with a real friendship breakup?
I have. I've had I think two pretty like that's a friendship breakup. Like it was intense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
And do you think that that is worse than a romantic breakup?
I think for me it's like when you're like a romantic breakup, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you're making like an official it's like you have to ask I'm like, do you want to date? And then it's like it's an official okay, we're breaking up.
Right.
It's like I feel like with a lot of friendship breakups, it's like you just we're friends now, and then it's like all of a sudden okay, we're not. Like what happened? Like where'd you go?
Yeah, and I feel like that's almost worse because I feel like there's never really closure.
There's
on
not,
it,
at least for me.
which is
there's not been any
me
closure.
neither. And I
I'm
feel
still
like
confused.
I've had to deal. I've had a couple, but there was one really bad one, and I actually couldn't tell you why we stopped being
Right?
friends,
I'm like,
and
I
that
don't
is
know what
what's so
happened.
bad because I'm like, there's no real reason for it, and we were such good friends, and I'm like, what happened?
And then they just disappear.
And then they are like they don't like you, but why? Because I feel
But
like
why?
I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
And I think that is worse because at least it's you're getting together
Closure,
with someone,
yeah.
and then you're breaking.
And a lot
up.
of, there's they're not just gonna be bye. There's gonna be a reason at
Right.
least, and then it's okay, I understand, even though it's you're upset about it. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's okay, well, I did something or they did something,
Right. It makes sense.
It makes
and
sense.
I feel like a lot of friendships it just doesn't. But in a way, also it's I guess we're all especially at this point of our lives, we're all growing and changing into different people. So we grow out of friendships.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's still so hard.
It's really hard.
But we all go through it, and yeah. But why do you think it affects us so much? Is it because of the no closure, or is I don't know what it is, because I feel like it kind of haunts me sometimes.
I think this could be the same with regular breakups too. It's especially when you're really close friends, it's the thought of okay, but I was your best friend though. I thought we were best friends.
Yeah.
It's I always get scared. I'm cause for me, with one that I had too, where it was there was no, all of a sudden it just we weren't friends. And so I'm okay, what do you when you tell people, what do you say?
Yeah, exactly. If somebody asks you why are you not friends anymore, what is the answer? Because if
I don't
somebody
know.
asks me, I just say I don't know.
Yeah, I'm I don't know, but do you?
Yeah,
know?
I know. I think that's also you don't know what they're saying to other people, because I feel like it also affects me in new friendships sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm what if this happens again?
Yeah.
And I guess
And then
it's
I
the same
can't
thing
even
with
than
relationships.
prevent it, because I'm
you don't know what you
what I
did.
did.
Yeah, I think that's so hard, and it's so hard when you're making new friends because you're scared of it happening, and it's the same thing with relationships. But I don't know, it's so scary.
Hard, yeah. Especially, I feel too, it's a lot of times, friendships, it's either, relationships too, but friendships, especially for me, it's been they've been girls too.
Yeah.
So it's it feels like it's different than like it would be like a regular relationship
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, but like we're all, you know, we're the same level, like we're
Yeah.
we're girls, like we get it.
But we don't.
We don't, because I don't get it.
It just doesn't make sense. So, I think that's what it is. It's just like, it usually just doesn't make sense. And I feel like if a friendship ends for like a good reason, then it's like, okay, like understandable.
Yeah.
But it's the ones that like don't, that really hurt.
That really gets
You know, like I had like a really, really close friend when I was like, I don't know, maybe I was like 11 or 10, and like best friends. And then all of a sudden it was like gone. And I was like, what happened? And I feel like at that age, it's also hard because sometimes it's like, oh, like,
Yeah.
has it ever happened to you where like your parents are friends with someone and then you're friends with their kids, but then like your parents aren't friends anymore?
Yeah.
And like that's really hard too, because that's happened to me, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's like,
that's so sad. But like when you're younger, you can't really control it.
Yeah.
But it's just as much of a
it's
breakup.
really, yeah.
Oh, so hard. Okay, now something that I think is so funny is like, not funny at all, but like if you have mutual friends with someone and then you have a friendship breakup, like that's the hardest thing. And like, I don't know how you've dealt with that, because it's happened to me multiple times where I have a lot of mutual friends in common with someone, but then like we're not friends anymore. So like, how would you deal with it if you have, or if you haven't? Like, how would you?
I think, like, for me, it's been mutual friends that, like, I've introduced the person to, and then it's like we would all hang out together, and so it's like, I don't know, that I'm like, well, they're my friends, but then it's like you stop being friends with me, and then they still try and, like talk to these other friends, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's really tough, but also it's like, they were also friends with this person,
Yeah.
so I can't be like, don't talk to her.
No, I never want to be that girl that's like, well, I'm not friends with them, so you can't be friends with them anymore.
Exactly.
Because
like, I can't.
That's not right.
Can't.
But it's
But,
so
like,
hard, especially when you introduce them to someone.
Yeah,
Like,
because I'm
that's
like-
so sad.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate that. And it's like, you never want to be the person that like tries to tell your friends like who you can and can't be friends
Because
with.
that's
Just not
gonna
right.
work.
You should never do that ever. And that's not how you have a healthy friendship or anything. But yeah, it is really hard. And I feel like at that point, you kind of like got to cut them all out, in my opinion. Because like, it's hard to like be in a room with like someone that you're not friends with, but like they're friends with your friends. And it's like, sometimes you just got to put yourself first and be like, hey, this is not going to work for me.
Yeah, or I've had situations where it's the other way around, where it's like somebody that I'm really good friends with introduced me to their friend, and then they stop being friends, and I'm like,
what do you do?
I'm like, is this okay? Am I allowed to? And it's like, I've tried this. That happened to me one time, and it's like I tried to make it work, and then it was like that person's like, are you still why are you still talking to her? And I'm just like, okay, well, she introduced me to, like what's happening here?
Yeah, and it's like you never know what to do.
Yeah, because it's like you're still friends with them too, and it's like, but they didn't. You know,
I know, it's
like
so tricky. It's so tricky. But like, I don't know. I just like I wouldn't know what to do, honestly.
Yeah.
I've never been in the situation where like someone's introduced me to someone and then like they've stopped being friends.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what I would do in that situation at all.
Yeah,
That's
I kind
really
of just, it was hard because I was like, oh, but I like being friends with you, and then it's like, but then it's not the same as like, oh, like being this big friend group, and then someone's missing, and it's like,
it just never really works.
it
like,
doesn't.
Makes sense.
It doesn't work out, and then it just slowly.
All fizzles. And then
Fizzles
you gotta
away.
find new friends. It's like back to square one. I love that. Not really.
I hate that.
Okay, this is something that I guess we kind of touched on, but like, have you ever like had like a talk with a friend like after like you guys have kind of had like a falling out? Like, have you ever like been like, hey, like what happened, or like, do you think that that's important to like talk about it, or is it kind of just best to go your separate ways?
I think sometimes it's needed, and it's like I haven't had that, and with this breakup, like friendship breakup, that was like, I mean, it's not that. It's kind of recent, but like not recent enough to where I'm like, I've kind of moved on slightly, but I'm like, even the other day I was like, I want to like just
Reach
I want
out.
to text her and be like, what is happening, because it's so like, I want to know. It's like I just want to know, and it's like it's like now it's like I've moved on, and I'm sure she's moved on, and so it's like obviously we don't need to like, but it's like I still would like to know. I know that's probably not gonna, but then it's like part of me's like, maybe it would fix it, like maybe we'll become friends, like, you know what I mean? And then I'm like,
I know what you mean. I feel like sometimes it's like you need the space to like go through it, and then like if you reach back out, like things could be fixed. Because I had a really, really close friend, and she used to live in like the same place as me, and then she moved, and we were still like friends, like long distance. And then we had like a complete falling out. We didn't talk for a year. And then it was like her birthday. And so I was like, hey, birthday. Which, you know, I feel like we always do. But then like we kind of like talked about it, and now we're not like best friends. And I feel like not that you never will be, but
it's probably not
most of the time it's probably never going to be the same. But I'm like, at least I know that like now there's like no bad blood and everything is like chill, because I hate having like any sort of like tension or weirdness between people.
Yeah.
So I love just like being able to like talk it out, and I know it will never be the same, but like at least
it's like, it's not like you're like, it's like it's like your mutual, like your acquaintances.
Yeah, and that's like better than like
enemies.
Not talking. That's so scary. I hate like going places and then like seeing someone that like I don't like. I just never like that. I don't like the drama, and I'm like, I'd rather just talk it out and have no problems with anyone.
Exactly.
I think that's needed. I think that,
and I think everyone should text your
best
friend
friend,
this, please.
Yeah, and fix it, guys, because it's just so much easier. And I think that's.
And I'm literally gonna get in the car and do that. I'm going to be typing the message. I hope you all know.
Paragraph it out.
Yes.
My notes at first and then send it. Okay. When you're going through a friendship breakup, do you talk to your other friends about it and get their advice on it? Or, like, how do you go about it, like, with your other support system? Mm-hmm. Do you get support from them, or do you kind of just, like, handle it on your own?
I think sometimes I try to handle it on my own, but also I'm, like, I'm not good with, like, confrontation. So it's, like, when I'm trying to, like I don't know what to do. And so it's, like, I do ask some friends, because a lot of friends have gone through the same thing. Always ask your moms. The moms always have the best advice. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing with this, where it was like our moms were friends, and her mom was like, it's okay if Audrey doesn't want to be friends anymore. And I'm like, well, I want to be friends. And so it's like my mom, but so like with this, it's like my mom was literally going through the same thing. It was like, because her mom didn't want to be friends. So
that's so sad.
Yeah, I know.
That's so sad. It's for your mom too, like when they're friends with like their parents, and it's like everyone is going through it, you know?
Yeah.
Adult friendship breakups, I feel like, are just as hard. I mean, I wouldn't know, but
but
I feel like our parents can like attest to it and be like,
so my mom she always knows.
They always know, and they feel like they always know from the beginning of a friendship. My mom sometimes would be like, I don't know about
I don't like
this
her.
one.
I don't like this one.
No, but she's great. And then like months later, I'm like, hey, so like, I don't know what to do. She's like, I told you. And I'm like, I know. I don't know what it is, the moms, but they have like a
sixth sense,
an intuition.
They got something.
I'm like, am I gonna?
I want that. Yeah, right. Like I need that.
I hope I have that intuition when I'm a
Please.
Guys, we'll see. But they always do know, and they always have the best advice.
They do.
Okay. Do you ever take the time to reflect on your past friendships and like take away? And I feel like, do you like learn something and implement that into your new friendships, and hopefully like, I don't know. I feel like you learn a lot from your friendships, and like that helps when you're making new friends. Mm-hmm. So like, do you do that like after like you grow out of friendships or whatever?
I think so. I think I even, it's like when you don't know, you kind of have to like just guess, and sometimes it's right. And so it's like, I think I had like with a friendship breakup, I remember like she kind of started to text me less, and I was like still trying to reach out, and then I was like, okay, like what if I don't text her? And I was like, let's see how long till she doesn't text me. And then she doesn't text you for 8 months, and you're like, oh. So it's like, I think any problems where I've like, with like my friends now, where I'm like, I get nervous and I'm like, oh, I don't want to, like, I don't, like, I'm just not going to say anything. And then I'm like, then it's just going to, no one's ever going to talk about it. And then it's going to, so I try to just like, communicate more
is the biggest thing in a friendship. Obviously, like everybody says that in a relationship, like communication, but same thing for friendships.
I think sometimes people don't think about it, because like, communicating, we're talking.
Yeah, but like, no,
you gotta communicate
your feelings, and like, if they're your like true friends, like they'll understand.
Get mad.
They're not gonna judge. They're not gonna get
block
mad.
you. They're not gonna ghost you. Like,
no. Well, you hope not.
I hope.
But if they're like the right friend, they're not going to. And I think that that's something that I've learned as I've gotten older. Is like, you need to communicate in your friendships, and you have to be open with how you're feeling, even in like the smallest situations.
Yeah.
If it's something like so small as to like, I don't even know, like, why did you hang out like without me? Like, I feel like that's so like stupid sometimes, and you can feel bad like even asking questions. Yeah. But it like, it does help. And
And
I feel
everybody feels that way a little bit.
Yes.
It's like, you have to, like...
it's a part of it, but you have to, like, let them know.
Yeah.
Because half the time, you don't even realize that you're doing something.
Exactly.
I feel like sometimes my friends have maybe been upset with me at something, and I just did not even
had
realize
no
it.
clue, and then I'm like...
Oh. Like, you, like, rethinking, like, okay, like, that makes sense. Like, if I was in her place, like, I'd feel the exact same way. But you wouldn't have known that unless you talked about it. So communication, and a friendship is a two-way street also, because like,
it is.
what you were saying about like always feeling like you're reaching out should never happen in a
Exactly,
friendship. It should always be like two-sided.
Mutual, yeah.
And I've done that before where I'm like, let me just not text. And let's see how long. And it's like weeks or like months, and I'm like, wow, like
I'm like, oh,
that's crazy, because like, you know, it means so much to you, but like it doesn't to them, and like that's not a healthy friendship, you know.
Not.
And I feel like even though like friendship breakups like that are hard, it's just like you gotta know your self-worth, and
exactly. And if they don't want to be your friend, you can't force people.
You can never force someone
and
to be
you
your
don't
friend.
want to do that. And it's just never gonna work.
It's never gonna work if you force someone to be your friend. And I feel like the right people, it will like organically happen.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you'll like click, and like you'll know. It's like it's literally like a relationship.
It
like
is.
You'll know if it's right, and
Exactly.
like you'll feel it. And you can't like force someone to date you, and you can't
Yeah.
force someone to be friends with you, and like if you like do, it just never ends up
It doesn't work.
working. And
It
like
doesn't.
I feel like we've all been there, but like the organic friendships are the best ones. You know.
Exactly.
But yeah, communication.
Communication.
What is your biggest piece of advice besides obviously communicating to someone going through a friendship breakup right now? Like, what would you say?
I think obviously communicating, but also it's like if they don't, like what you just said, if they don't want to be your friend, it's like you can't force them. And it's like a lot of times people have their own things that they're going through. And so it's like, and obviously that's, you know, they can't like ghost you still. But, you know, it's like you can't worry about them sometimes. Sometimes it's not like, I don't know. Sometimes it's not like something that it's like you can fix like that. You don't have to worry about it with them. It's like sometimes you have to worry about yourself. And you're more important. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't working for me, even if it like maybe they don't see that it's a problem. You know, it's like, okay, well, you have to like be the one to recognize like, okay, this isn't working. Like, you know, this isn't good for me or them.
Yeah, I agree. I think like taking a step back and like knowing like if a friendship isn't making you feel like good, then it's not worth it. You know, and you should never feel bad like when you're like friends with someone. Like they should never make you feel bad about yourself or like question things. Like you should always just feel comfortable and like yourself around people. So I think that that's also important, is like knowing that it is okay to stop being friends with them, you know. Like, besides like all this, like yes, friendship breakups are hard, but it is okay to not like, be friends with someone.
It's okay. And sometimes it's supposed to happen, and sometimes you find like other friends. And it's like if I didn't stop being friends with, like I had a friendship breakup a few years ago, it's like I wouldn't have been friends with this one friend that I also am not friends with anymore, but then I wouldn't have met like, you know, so many different people.
You have to go through friends to like find like the right people. And it's like, it is a trial and error, I feel like, in friendships, and like that's fine. Like we're all growing and changing, like I said, like especially at this age. It's okay to like not be friends with someone anymore. But again, communicate that with people. Because you never want to be on the other side where you're like, what happened? Or you never want to put someone in the position where they're like, why are we not friends anymore? So like communicating that and your feelings towards someone again is like huge in friendships. Okay, so now besides breaking up with your friends, how is it making new friends? You know, like, because are you from LA originally?
I'm not. No,
okay,
I used to live in New York.
Right. When you moved here, how did you like make new friends and meet new people? Like moving somewhere new is so hard. So like
it's really hard, especially too. I've been homeschooled, so
Me
it's
too.
like, girl,
so
like it's
difficult.
really
There's no
hard.
one.
There's nobody. So I think it just depends on like putting yourself out there. Like obviously me and you both do like things where it's like we're going to events and things and we're seeing each other, we're passing each other and like making mutual friends. And I think like, I don't know, I'm someone that's always like nervous, and I'm like, this person never texted me, and my mom's like, well, did you ask if they wanted to hang out? And I'm like, no, no, I didn't. So I think like, I don't know, just being able to put yourself out there and do things, like if you do go to school, like, you know what I mean? It's like just hanging, like just asking, and just like it's not gonna hurt to like reach out and like try your best to like
it's again 2 ways, but like I'm the same thing. I wasn't from here, and like when I first moved here, I was so scared. Like again, like we pass by, like, we've passed by each other so much before we, like, actually talk to each other.
Right.
And it's because, like, you're scared. Like,
Right.
I feel like I'm scared of making new friends
Me
sometimes
too.
because I'm like, you never know, like, what they're going to think of you.
Yeah.
But, again, if they're meant to be your true friend,
And
like,
they
they're
wanna be
not
your
going to think
like,
it's weird.
Exactly. They're going to be like, I want to be your friend.
Exactly.
Like,
and, like, you can never have too many friends, and people are always looking to meet new people.
yeah.
So, like, yeah, I think putting yourself out there is so important, and it's way easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, again, like, reaching out and, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm always so scared, too.
Me too. I'm, like, saying this as if I'm like, when was the last time I reached out to somebody?
I'm just, like, thinking this, man. I'm like, I should
like,
maybe reach out.
Maybe
make
I should
plans.
actually do this, too.
Yeah, I'm taking this advice for myself.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I think meeting new people is so hard, but, like, it's the best. Like, making
is.
new
It's
friends
really
is
fun.
so fun. And I just, like, I love it. And then you get introduced to their friends, and it's like so much
Exactly.
fun. And I love like connecting friend groups. I
Yeah.
think that's so fun. I was scared of that when I was younger because I grew up a dancer. So I had like my school friends and I had my dance friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do not want them to mix. Like
yeah.
birthday parties separate. Like I was like, I did not like that. But now I love introducing my
Right?
friends to my other friends because it's just like so much fun. And like seeing like your friends like become good friends like
Right?
is so I just
It's
love
so
it.
fun.
I
I've
love
never
it.
like done anything like that before either, and it was my birthday last month, and I was like, I'm just gonna invite like everybody from all, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it was still like small, but it was really fun. It was like, okay, well now it's like,
It's like a group.
and they're all bonding over it because they all like you, and they're all friends with you, and it's like
just
there's
like, oh,
something
wait,
in
this is so
common.
fun. I know. I like had made like these like recently I'd made these like 2 new friends at like something with my church, and then they're like, hey, do you want to go to this like carnival? And I was like, sure, like can I bring my other friends? And now like they each like connected like
Yeah.
and with each other, and they're like friends. I'm like, this is so
Oh, this is
fun.
so
And I
fun.
love that like I'm like, did I do this? I'm like,
We're like
that's-
matchmaking.
I know. I'm like, wait, I'm literally Cupid. Like, I love it. It's so fun. So, like, I think that that's also something is like, don't be afraid to like introduce
Yeah.
your friends to each other because I feel like sometimes people gatekeep their friends,
Right?
which I think is so weird.
I'm like, come on.
But I'm like, please don't do that. But like, mixing your friends is scary, but it's so fun.
It's really
and
fun.
so worth
Yeah.
it. And
It
you just,
is.
it's gonna be a one big party. Like, might
It's
as well.
literally one big party.
I love. Okay. Oh, I asked you this question. Okay. My like last like big question is what do you think is important in like maintaining a healthy friendship besides communication? Because I feel like that's like the common thing, but like I feel like there's a lot of things that go into a friendship, you know?
I think, yeah. I mean, communicating, being open, like working on yourself too. I think being like confident too is one of them. It's like you can't be like, oh my god, like you want it to be like a two-way street, and like you want it to be equal. You don't want it to be like, oh, like, well, they're cooler than me, and like they could stop being friends with me whenever they want. It's like you need to be like, well, you know, like it's equal, and we're both
equal.
equals, and like
Never,
I don't know, yeah.
Never compete with your friends
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
I think that's a big thing, especially
Yeah.
like, you know, in this industry.
Yeah.
It's very hard because it's a very competitive like industry, but like with your friends, you never want to compete because
Yeah.
that destroys
that
friendship.
messes it up. Yeah,
It's so bad. Competition and comparison destroys friendships.
yeah,
So I think that like never comparing yourself to your friends
Yeah.
either, because we're all obviously on our own path. We're all going
Yeah.
different ways in life.
and I feel like sometimes you don't realize you're doing. I sometimes don't realize I'm doing it, and then I'm like, why am I comparing myself to this person?
Yeah, I'm like, this is not good.
This is not good.
And I feel like it just like subconsciously like creates like a hatred towards people
Yeah.
if you do that, and like then it literally destroys.
like you don't
a
even realize
friendship.
you're doing it, and then you're just like
And you're
wait,
like,
I don't like this person now. Like why
because
did I?
of what? Because you like
of-
created this thing in your head. So I think that that's like something that's huge. Is
Yeah.
like don't compare yourself to your friends, and also I think that something that's like makes a healthy friendship is like having like obviously similar interests. You have to, because like if you're like complete opposites, it's like there's nothing really to
Nothing,
bond
what do you
over.
guys-
But
yeah.
also to like have different paths in life, I
Yeah.
think is super important. Like my closest friends, we're all on different paths. Like none of us
Yeah.
like want the exact same thing, but we're all driven towards what we want. And I think
Yeah.
that that's something that's super important.
Yeah.
You know, like don't compare, and always just like be on your own path as
Yeah,
well.
it's like you're great. You're doing your own thing. Everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about everybody
and
else.
We're all different and great in our own ways. And that's the important thing, you know?
Yes.
Okay, so I started this little series on my TikTok called Dear Pressley, where I created like a space where people can write in and write what they're going through because like we said, we're all growing, we're all learning, and I want people to know that they're not alone and we're all going through the same thing. So I have a little note from someone and I would like to get your advice on it and we can chat about it. Okay. It says, Dear Presley, my best friend of 6 years has been excluding me, leaving me out, and not spending as much time with me as she used to. She started spending more time with an old friend she reconnected with, and she became more distant with me, and the friendship started to feel one-sided. No matter what I did and how much I sacrificed my boundaries, they were both excluding me. I brought the issue up and my best friend apologized, but then told me I was too attached to her and it was my issue to fix. She still wants me to keep the friendship, but after what she said, I'm not sure I do. But I still love and care about her.
Ooh,
that's
hard.
That cuts deep because like, I just like reading that is like, you can tell that she loves her friend so much. Yeah. But like, it's one-sided, which is so sad. And it's like, I feel like this happens a lot in relationships where like they don't want to like let you go because they don't want anyone else to have you.
Exactly, yeah.
And same thing goes for friends. They don't want to stop being friends with you because they don't want you to have another best friend.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. In this situation, like, what do you think?
I think, yeah, it's like, obviously, they're like, sometimes it's like you can't force people, and it's like people change and people grow, and it's like they might not realize that they're doing it in like such a, you know what I mean, like not a harsh way, but you know what I mean. It's kinda, like they might not realize that they're hurting you, or maybe they do, maybe not. You know, it's like you don't know. So I think like I don't want to say like, because I don't want to sound like I'm like the girl like being like you're attached, because you're not. But like it's really hard sometimes when that happens, and it's like you don't know what to do, especially when it's like I'm someone that's never had like, I always just had like a really small group of friends, and so it's like if my best friend also of like almost 7 years, and like if she started to like excluding me, I'm like I don't know what I'd do. I wouldn't have anybody else to hang out with. So I think like, I don't know, kind of like not necessarily giving them space, but like giving yourself space, and like making sure it's not like that they're the ones pushing you away, that you're like recognizing and being like, okay, I deserve better. I'm going to take a step back and figure it out.
Yeah. And if there's a lot of love in the friendship, like even if you take space, you should be able to come back and reconnect. Yeah. And it might just be like a weird time in like each of like your lives, and like you might need space to grow apart. Yeah. You know, like space makes the heart grow fonder, whatever they say. Like that might be true, you know? Like I think that in this situation, like taking time and space for yourself, even though like you care so much about this person, like if they're not showing the same love towards you, like it's not worth it anyways. It's not, And again, very much easier said than done, because if my best friend said this to me, I would be a wreck. Like, I just don't know how I would handle it. But I think that my advice would be, I think I would want to just take the time to myself and try and just, you know, focus on me, and like hopefully things will work out. And I don't know. It's so hard. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Like it is. That makes me so sad, because I know that I would be a mess as well. But I'm glad that hopefully this episode helped you, and like realize that you deserve better, and like the true friends won't do that to you.
Exactly.
You know? Well, this was so great.
This is so fun.
Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys really enjoyed listening to this, and I hope that this helped you guys out. Yes. And do you want to tell them where they can like find you on social media?
Yes. My name's Audrey Grace Marshall. It's mostly just Instagram. That's it. So I'm there.
She's amazing, guys. Make sure you go follow her. And thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching and listening. See you next time. Bye.